So, Antoine Béchamp introduced a doctrine called the doctrine of pleomorphism. This was not found in favor at the time. Monomorphism, which means one form, one identity. You have a germ, it infects the body, and now we have a whole industry that has defrauded the humanity called the infectious disease complex. Let me show you what happens when you compromise the biological terrain. Listen carefully when you hear this video. What you're seeing here is phase contrast microscopy at about 20,000 magnification. You're seeing targeted red blood cells. None of them are very healthy. You're also seeing a rod here. You see this rod? This rod here that I'm pointing with my pointer, I don't know if you can see this or not. It's right in the center there. It's like anthrax bacteria. Here's one with hypha. It's got two heads. It's a rod bacteria. You can see next to it 3 red blood cells, all theoretically infected. And watch what happens as this cell transforms itself into a completely different form. This is real time, happening exactly the way it happened when I viewed it, the day that I viewed it, validating Antoine Béchamp's handwritten diagrams that took place in the 19th century that he viewed under lesser circumstances, the biological transformation of human matter that can take on different forms or provide for different functions based upon its environment. This is not a healthy environment. Now, as you look at that, what would you identify? What would the hematologist identify? They can't answer those questions because they don't study this at the university. Because if they study it and they start documenting it, it's heresy to their God. And their God is Louis Pasteur. That is their God. It's not to the truth or to the God who actually reigns in heaven, but the God of man. We end up focusing on not bringing harmony and balance and nature to our internal environment. We bring a war against ourselves. You see, bacteria is nothing more than a biological mutation or transformation of what used to be a healthy body cell. The question is, why? Why is bacteria born out of us? What are these macrophages that are wrongfully being identified as viruses without isolating them? Dr. Enders never isolated the measles virus, period. Luc Montagnier, sitting right next to me, in Milan, Italy, exiled. I thought he came from Paris, came from Beijing. Never isolated the HIV virus. I'll talk a little bit more about that. The cure for any disease, including lung, brain, breast, pancreatic, liver cancer, will be found in its prevention, not in its treatment. You have to understand the biochemistry of the interstitial fluids of the interstitium in order to understand what is the cause of cancer. Cancer should never be used as a noun, it should be used as an adjective. It is not a thing. Current medical science has identified it as a thing so that they can treat this thing as if it invaded based upon the same fraud that was perpetuated by Louis Pasteur. Prevention and treatment. Treatment is a specific disease or change of the internal environment. This is why our success is so extremely high. When the word gets out, people start saying, what is this? What is going on? Who is this doctor? Or is he a real doctor? And what can we do to stop this? I believe my life is still at risk, but in the law of duality, there's two opposites. One is called fear, the other one is faith. Tony Robbins and others like to say that fear is an acronym that stands false evidence appearing real. The duality of that is faith. Faith is, and this is mine, first attribute in thinking healthy. When you have faith, then the powers of the angels and those protecting angels and God and His majesty, I will not die any sooner or any later until I have finished my mission. And I want to stop this madness. I want to stop the so-called good doers who think they're doing right are doing evil. You can see it in their eyes. You can feel it in their voice. No one's going to publish my pleomorphic documents because that would cause a lot of upset in the medical community. Well, it would also cause a lot of upset in the big pharma. Why would you need drugs when all you're doing is trying to restore the perfect health of the interstitial fluids of the interstitium, which supports the blood and the intracellular fluids?
Wow.